coming into this week against Louisville, the Clemson defense has been beat up in the media by Clemson fans, and most of it has been deserved. Let's be honest. Clemson's defense came into this season as arguably, or preseason, one of the best defenses to ever grace the paw on the side of their helmet. Right? They were going to be compared to the 2018 defense. They were going to be compared to the 2014 defense. They were going to be compared to these great defenses that Clemson has put on the field before. And let's be honest, if we're all being serious, they have not lived up to it, namely the front seven. We came out against, and it wasn't just the Notre Dame game last week. We've been exposed in a couple games this season. Florida State comes to mind on the ground where a team has really run against us. And then Notre Dame we go up to Notre Dame and they put 260 on the ground against us. And we couldn't stop the run. And they're a one-dimensional offense, not to mention there's, 30, 40 mile an hour winds outside. So throwing the ball is not really the greatest option, which makes them even more one-dimensional. And Clemson got bodied. They got handled, and they got embarrassed. And I think they heard all of that noise coming into this game. And they came into this game, and they looked good. They were pressuring Malik Cunningham in the first half. They were getting after the quarterback. They weren't letting Louisville have any type of running game. Barrett Carter played out of his mind tonight. I mean, that dude is the real deal. We've known it all season. I think he's been the best player on Clemson's defense this season. If you're going to give a defensive MVP, I think Barrett Carter's that guy for sure this season. So I think they really came out. They got the job done tonight. They had a couple drives where they kind of let a couple big runs get popped off against them. And then the backup quarterback comes in, and that dude could throw the ball, man. He could definitely sling the ball around. He's pretty good for a backup, I'd say. But your guys' thoughts on Clemson's defense versus Louisville tonight?
Well, it was
big plays.
Go ahead, DeAndre.
Too many big plays. I mean, I thought they gave up the ending touchdown, the two long runs where you had them backed up. It's like a lack of focus. We did a better job of getting pressure on Louisville tonight. I like the fact that we walked up linebackers in those gaps and got better pressure, got the double teams off of our defensive linemen, because the guard and the tackle and guard have been blocking Breezy and Davis in the center. So, and then the tight end come in and block the tackle back the defense end. And so I'm glad we finally got a chance to see a difference in the way that we play defense. So, yeah, I thought we did pretty good. Just too many big plays, lack of focus.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That was kind of, that's kind of my thing as well. Just, they gave up some big plays in situations where they shouldn't have. You give up a 20-yard run on 3rd and 21 or something like that. Like, that can't happen. It happened twice. It happened twice. One was a little bit of a shorter third down and before that, but they, and it was the same, that stretch zone play that Louisville runs a ton. They run a lot of their offense around that. And it just seems like guys were not really in position on that play. And they, that was frustrating to see us give up those big plays. The last touchdown, you hate to see that. I would have rather you just tackle the receiver and take the pass interference than, give up the touchdown there. But hey, it is what it is. But I do think the front seven definitely had a much had a great bounce back game. They were getting pressure. Linebackers played really well. Barrett Carter was amazing. Jeremiah Trotter played well after that. He gave up. I thought he was out of position on that first rushing touchdown that Louisville had, but after that he was laying wood, man. He was looking to kill somebody, looking like his daddy.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. So I thought the linebackers played a much better game overall, and the defensive line really made their presence known. The secondary, I thought, they covered well for the most part, but obviously just they gave up some completions again when they were in soft zone and playing off coverage and stuff like that. But they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything like crazy, and that was good to see, at least until the end of the game. So, all in all, even though the stat sheet isn't going to show it, because Louisville did technically, they had like 400 yards of offense.
Yeah, they did.
I thought they played well.
They put up some yards, but if you watch the game, I think Clemson's defense was well in control of that game. Yeah, they gave up that disappointing. It was like 3rd and 21, and then they get that play. They hit it for 19 yards. They go forward on 4th down. They get the 4th down conversion, extend that drive. Luckily, Barrett Carter comes up with that INT shortly after that happened. Yeah. But yeah, you can't let stuff like that happen. When you're 3rd and 21, you can't let them get enough yards on 3rd and 21 in order for them to even think about going for it on 4th down. So yeah, that was a disappointing thing. Did you guys see? So we talk about Barrett Carter a little bit. Did you guys see where he hurdled that dude and then got that sack?
Yeah, he hurdled the blocker. Yeah,
bro, wow! Like another just wow play, just showing like the athleticism of that guy. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's fast. And, I mean, you talk about hurdling a guy and then going to get the quarterback as he's rolling out to his right. It doesn't get any better than that, man. Like, that dude's a freak. And I'm glad we have him on our team. I can tell you that.
One thing I'm interested in seeing is when we play Carolina, because we know that game, North Carolina, we know that game's coming up, how Clemson's going to handle their slot receivers. Because Carolina has a lot of speed. I know Miami won today versus Georgia Tech, but I'm not really worried about Miami and South Carolina. But I'm worried about Carolina because how much speed they got, and with the receivers, they don't do a very good job of running the ball. But that's something that we got to clear up when we take them on. Because if you don't, it's gonna be like Wake Forest all over again.
Yeah. Maybe even worse.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, who knows? Definitely got to get better. But tackling's got to be better in the second level.
Yeah, we got to get better. But here's the secret. North Carolina doesn't have a defense. Every team.
Yeah, but we're talking about the defense against UNC's offense. It's not.
Yeah. No, I got it. I'm just saying, like, Clemson's going to put up plenty of points when we play North Carolina. Believe me, every bad offense's get right game is against UNC. Even Virginia, how terrible they've been this season. Their get right game was against UNC for their offense. So they pose no threat on defense at all. I realize our defense has some work to do, but I don't know, man. North Carolina is a very they're not good on the defensive side of the ball. They can hurt us on offense, and they'll get theirs, I think. But they got to be able to stop us as well. And I don't think they can do that, not consistently enough. And I think our defense could stop them at least enough to get a win. That's just my thoughts. I don't know, but they do have an explosive offense. There's no doubt about it. We're going to have some issues matching up with some of their personnel.